The 2024 UK election was a Labor landslide, which ended 14 years of Conservative government.
Our country has voted decisively for change.
New Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer promised to stop the political chaos that plagued the Tory years. But just over a year since he moved into number 10 Downing Street,
there is a widespread sense that Britain is broken.
It's not quite gone to plan.
There have been policy backflips such as cutting winter heating payments, then restoring them, and pledging to cut sickness and disability benefits only to face a revolt from his own MPs. There's been scrutiny over ministers accepting free clothes and concert tickets, and large protests against immigration. But then, just days ago, the biggest blow to his government yet.
Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister, resigns from government, triggering a major cabinet reshuffle.
Angela Rayner, loyal to Keir Starmer and loved by Labor. After growing up in social housing, becoming a teenage mother and caring for a son with a disability, she rose to MP, then Deputy Labor Leader, Deputy Prime Minister and Housing Minister. So when she was caught not paying enough tax on housing, there was an outcry, forcing her to resign.
The advice that I received was inaccurate. As soon as I knew that that was the case, I have alerted and referred myself.
Angela Rayner was a huge asset for the Labour Party. She was charismatic. She was able to fight populism with her own appeal. She's the one MP that I think most people would say, do you know what, I wouldn't mind going down the pub with them.
John McTernan was a top advisor to former British Prime Minister Tony Blair and former Australian PM Julia Gillard.
In the end, Angela damaged herself so much she's resigned from all her positions, and she damaged the government, which has reshuffled quite powerfully to try to recover.
In terms of the character that we've lost, it's very tough. And of course what it means is that instead of Labour or anybody talking about what they're doing in government, they're talking about the party and party management.
Sir Craig Oliver was the Director of Politics and Communications for former Conservative Prime Minister David Cameron.
You've lost your deputy leader. You've had to have a major reshuffle. It's not entirely clear what the vision of this government is. That is not a position that any government wants to be in 15 months in, and it's difficult to see how they pull themselves out of this hole.
Well, good morning, colleagues. Let me welcome you to this cabinet team.
As the new reshuffled cabinet gets to work, one of the biggest issues to tackle is immigration. More than 50,000 migrants have crossed the English Channel in small boats since Labor came to power last year, a higher number than the previous year under the Tories. The issues prompted nationwide protests outside hotels housing asylum seekers, fuelled further by allegations that some of the asylum seekers have committed crimes in these communities. And all of this has led to the rise of populist political party Reform UK, led by Brexiteer Nigel Farage.
This government is deep in crisis.
Nigel Farage is tough on immigration and regularly holds up former Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott's Stop the Boats policy as the gold standard.
We will stop the boats within 2 weeks of winning government.
Nigel Farage is having a huge impact on British politics. He's not quite Donald Trump levels yet, but he is having a huge impact.
I think Reform is clearly, at the moment, the biggest threat to the Labour government. They are several points ahead in the polls consistently and have been for some time now.
Luke Trill is the UK director of think tank More in Common. Its latest polling shows Keir Starmer's approval rating has sunk to a new low.
We found 77% of people saying the government is chaotic. And what that does, that has a further effect in that it de-risks Reform UK. because one of the biggest barriers to people voting for reform is that untested, they might be too radical, is it a step too far? If the current government looks chaotic, if the Tories look like they were chaotic, lots of people, and we hear this in focus groups, say, well, I'm not sure about reform, but can they be any worse than what we've got at the moment? And therefore I'm willing to roll the dice.
Reform UK has been buoyed by its surge in the opinion polls and prominent place in the media cycle here. And if an election was to be held now, the party would do well. But it's early days. An election is still 3 to 4 years away, which means the Starmer government has time on its side.
And that focus on economic growth.
They've got to spend the remaining years visibly delivering, talking about it, being out around the country and showing the fact that they've got 22 people around the cabinet, all strong personalities, and Nigel Farage has got himself.
Keir Starmer's appointed former Foreign Secretary David Lammy to be his new Deputy Prime Minister, but there'll be a vote next month to choose the new Deputy Labor leader, a job highly sought after as the government tries to get back on track.